Hey everybody, this is Joshua Kenny Greenwood. I am the senior pastor and the overseer here at the Empowerment Center Church, churchfreedom.org, and corporationsoulbook.com. I'm also the author of this book called The Corporation Soul, Freeing America's Pulpits from the Restrictive 501c3 Laws for Churches, that is available right now at corporationsoulbook.com. Folks, we got a question today by a pastor, and the question is what is the difference or advantages of the corporation soul versus a traditional 501c3? Oh my gosh. It's almost like where do you start? I want to encourage you, firstly, that the actual answer to that question is actually right here inside the book. It's actually a much more detailed answer that's inside this book that clarifies it and also gives the legal precedents behind it, the laws and why. When I'm about to make a claim, you got to back it up with actual law. You just can't take my word for it. And so that's what the book does. It actually backs it up with the actual laws that are actively on the books right now that back up every statement that we make. But the benefits are almost too numerous to really talk about. You've got, first off, it brings a mandatory tax exemption back to the church, where the church revocated that in favor of 501c3 when they incorporated themselves to get a bank account, when churches got a bank account. So now the church itself is no longer under 501c3. The church is now isolating its 501c3 status to the corporation soul. It creates two distinct jurisdictional distinctions of 508c1a and 501c3 in the church. So legally, lawfully, it allows the church to simultaneously operate in two different under two different completely different jurisdictions within the law. So the church itself is now immune in the senior pastor position, as long as you're preaching from the senior pastor's position and not the corporation soul, the overseer position, or whatever the title position is of the church's corporation soul. As long as you're preaching from the senior pastor's position, then you're fine. And as long as you make mention of that within your messages, or it's known that you're speaking from that position, then it's absolutely acceptable to influence all matters of public policy. The church and its members that are not underneath the corporation soul can go ahead and lobby Congress, put out and distribute statements. I'm not advocating whether they should do that or not. I let the Holy Spirit decide that, and let the Holy Spirit lead your church in that direction. But that's a massive benefit. It makes the church itself, not the corporate soul, immune to gender laws. So, for instance, states that try to require pastors officiate gay marriage right now. That's a very important topic that we do need to talk about. It's not whether or not churches should do it. I'm not going to debate whether or not churches should do it or not. The Bible does that, but the state is, a lot of states are trying to influence or direct the church into officiating gay marriage through gender laws. Okay, and in fact, we've had numerous cases across the United States where, for instance, lesbian couples or homosexual couples will sue the church for the church not allowing the couple to use their facilities to facilitate a gay marriage. They're suing under the gender laws because it's now an equal rights issue, and it comes under that corporate jurisdiction, which churches, if they're incorporated, guess what? You're incorporated. That's that key word there. So you come under the corporate gender law guidelines, and there's 32 states that have that. That is enormous, absolutely enormous. In fact, they're actually making a judge actually made a Christian business owner under gender law just mandatorily go take a homosexual sensitivity training, because he valued his doctrine so much that the judge, in spite of his Christian values, is trying to put him through an indoctrination course. Okay, now how that is not a violation of the separation of church and state, I have literally no idea. That's absolutely incredible. But we see this direction going to pastors. So we're anticipating that pastors, if you don't officiate gay marriage and you're under the law of 501c3, you didn't get your corporation soul, and you didn't get one of the last, there's only 8 remaining states that even have a corporate soul law. So if you don't get it quickly, okay, you might not get it. But if you didn't, and you come underneath that jurisdiction, then yeah, you might face. We anticipate that the courts not only will penalize you and fine you, but in addition to that, there is the potential precedence now for you as the senior pastor to go through homosexual sensitivity training. Let's go over other benefits. This is a little benefit. I think pastors will probably understand the value of this benefit, whether they see it as a benefit or not. But corporation souls and churches that have corporation souls are not required to have a normal board of trustees, a polity body in the sense of that they have the type of voting rights or appropriation rights over the church's budget, because you as the individual who is both the senior pastor and the overseer of the church has sole now discretionary abilities over the church's finances in the corporation soul, through the corporation soul, because the corporation soul doesn't have multiple incorporators, it only has one incorporator. And it's the same person who's the senior pastor of the church. So that's a pretty important benefit to talk about. It also removes the need for bylaws within the church that does nothing but create a spirit of condemnation. A corporation soul can represent itself as an attorney in all matters, in all legal matters. It can issue promissory notes. It gives, like I said, it mandatorily exempts the church and the religious order within the church, which we have declared as the corporation soul in the church establishment affidavit that we give you access to through the book. That the corporation soul is under that law of 6033 3A1 through 3 of Title 26, which gives it a mandatory exemption from even being required to even file annual informational returns to the IRS. I mean, I can literally go on and on and on and on. There's just a tremendous amount of benefits. You got to understand, pastors or Christians, you've never been taught about the corporation soul because it's not taught about in any law school, Bible college, theology school, seminary school in the United States. Not a single solitary one of them teaches about the corporation soul because, folks, this is the first book that's ever been published in American history related to the corporation soul and modern day tax law. So this right here is the ram in the bush for the church today. God had a ram in the bush. It's called the corporation soul. And if you read about it, it will absolutely help free your church from these extraordinarily restrictive laws right now that are tightening the noose around the neck of a church. So make sure you go right now, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make sure you go to corporationsoulbook.com and get your copy today. God bless you. Thank you so much.